I never thought I'd feel this kind of content. Sitting in my study, the late afternoon sun streaming through the curtains, the faint smell of coffee lingering in the air. Emily was humming in the kitchen, a soft tune I'd known for years, the one she always sang while cooking. I smiled to myself. Life, at least on the surface, was perfect. "Hey love, lunch is almost ready," she called, her voice carrying warmth. "I'll be there in a minute," I replied, closing my laptop. I wanted to see her smile up close. I stood and stretched, feeling that quiet satisfaction you only get when everything feels right. James appeared in the doorway carrying a tray. "Sir, your tea is ready," he said, placing it carefully on my desk. "Thanks, James." "Did Emily say anything about dinner tonight?" I asked casually, my tone light. "No, sir. She seemed busy with the new recipe she's trying," he replied, his voice calm, but something in his eyes made me pause. I shook it off. I'd known James for years. He was dependable. Nothing more. I wandered into the kitchen where Emily was stirring a pot. "This smells amazing," I said, leaning over her shoulder. She laughed softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I thought you'd like it. I added a little twist today." "You always do," I said, kissing her cheek. Her skin felt warm, familiar. But then, was that a flicker of hesitation in her smile? I blinked, forcing myself to relax. Probably nothing. James came in quietly, holding a small basket of vegetables. "Sir, I've prepared these for dinner," he said, avoiding Emily's gaze. But I thought, his movements were too careful, too deliberate. Emily glanced at him, her expression unreadable for a second. "Thanks, James. That's perfect." There was something in the way they exchanged that look, just a fraction too long. I laughed nervously in my mind. I'm probably imagining things. "So, how was your day?" Emily asked, her eyes searching mine. "Good. Busy but good," I said. "You?" "Busy too," she said lightly, but there was a tension there I couldn't ignore. "I ran a few errands and just some shopping." "Shopping?" I raised an eyebrow, smiling. "For me or?" She laughed softly, a sound I normally loved, but today it carried a note of distraction. "Just things for the house," she murmured. I nodded, sipping my tea. "You're always thinking about us," I said. She smiled, and for a moment, everything seemed normal again. But a small knot formed in my stomach. Something was off, I could feel it, though I couldn't name it. James cleared his throat. "Sir, Emily, I'll leave you to it. Dinner will be ready soon." He glanced at Emily one more time before walking out. I frowned slightly, but Emily didn't notice. She was focused on chopping vegetables. I took a deep breath, trying to shake the unease. "Everything okay, Em?" I asked, reaching for her hand. She looked up, eyes soft. "Yes, love. Really. Everything's fine." Her reassurance should have eased my mind. It didn't. I watched her for a moment, the way her hair fell over her shoulders, the curve of her smile. "I guess I'm just overthinking," I said quietly. Emily touched my cheek. "Don't. You've got me always. That's all that matters." I nodded, letting her words settle. I trusted her. I trusted James. My perfect life felt solid, unshakable. Yet, deep inside, I couldn't ignore the tiny flickers of doubt. Small shadows in the corners of my happiness. But I pushed them away. I had no reason to suspect anything, yet. The sun dipped lower, painting the kitchen gold. I poured another cup of tea, smiling at Emily as she stirred the pot. Life was perfect. At least I thought it was. I woke that morning to the faint scent of perfume that wasn't hers. I frowned, pulling the covers tighter. "Emily?" I called softly. No answer. Just the quiet hum of the house. Later, in the kitchen, she appeared, brushing past me without meeting my eyes. "Morning," she said, her voice clipped. "Morning," I replied, trying to keep my tone light. "You're up early." I had a few things to do," she muttered, glancing at her phone. Her fingers moved quickly, almost hiding the screen. I watched, heart tightening. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yes. Really?" Her eyes darted away, and I caught that familiar flicker of hesitation. My chest tightened. James appeared, carrying a tray. "Sir, breakfast." He paused, glancing at Emily. Something in that glance made my stomach churn. "Thanks, James," I said, though my mind raced. Why was he looking at her like that? I tried to shake it off. I must be overthinking. Emily poured coffee, humming softly. "Busy day ahead?" I asked. She nodded, but avoided my gaze. "Yes, lots to do." I took a sip of tea, trying to ignore the knot forming in my stomach. "You've been different lately," I said cautiously. "Is something wrong?" "No, nothing," she replied quickly, a little too quickly. She turned and carried her mug away. I swallowed hard. James lingered by the counter. "Sir, Emily asked if you needed anything before work," he said. "I'm fine, thanks," I replied. But I noticed him linger an extra second, watching her as she moved. My stomach sank. That evening my old friend Mark called. "Hey man, how's married life?" "Good, mostly," I said. I hesitated, then added, "Actually, can I ask you something?" "Of course." "I feel strange. Emily's been distant. Late nights, secret messages. I don't know if I'm imagining it." Mark was quiet for a moment. "You know, sometimes people hide things even from the ones they love most." I frowned. "Are you saying?" "I'm saying trust is fragile," he said carefully. "Keep your eyes open. Don't ignore your instincts." I hung up, stomach twisting. Mark had always been level-headed, but his words planted a seed of doubt. The next day, I noticed James standing outside Emily's room. "James, what are you doing?" I asked, forcing calm. "Nothing, sir," he said smoothly. "Just organizing some things." I nodded, though my eyes narrowed. Too calm. Too smooth. Later, I overheard Emily's phone ring. She stepped into the hallway, whispered rapidly, "Yes, James, I know. Just wait. I'll handle it." She paused. "No, don't worry. He won't suspect a thing." My heart stopped. James? Could she be talking to him about me? I clenched my fists, trying to breathe normally. I confronted James later. "You were outside Emily's room again?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I was just helping, sir," he said, eyes calm, but I felt the tension under his words. "I'm always here for her, for you too." I nodded slowly, forcing a smile. "Good. That's good to hear." But inside, the doubt gnawed at me. Emily appeared then, smiling softly. "Everything okay?" "Yes," I said, though my voice was hollow. "Everything's fine." She tilted her head, concern in her eyes. "You seem tense." "I'm fine," I said again, taking a deep breath. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to. But the whispered phone calls, the perfume, James' lingering glances, they didn't add up. Something was wrong. That night, I lay awake, listening to the quiet house. Every creak made me jump. I tried to rationalize. Maybe I was imagining things. But my gut told me otherwise. Something was happening behind my back and I didn't know what to do. By the time the house settled into silence, I realized I was watching, always watching. Every glance between Emily and James, every whispered word, every secret smile, my mind cataloged it all. And for the first time I felt fear. Not of them leaving, but of discovering a truth I wasn't ready to face. I hadn't planned to come home so early, but something made me leave the office. A feeling I couldn't shake. My hands were clammy as I approached the front door. Everything was quiet, too quiet. I stepped inside and froze. Emily was in the living room, pressed against James. Their mouths moved together. Time stopped. My heart thudded in my chest, each beat louder than the last. What the hell is this?" My voice was barely steady. They jumped apart. Emily's face drained of color. I can explain," she stammered, stepping back. James avoided my gaze, shuffling awkwardly. "Sir, this isn't what it looks like." "Not what it looks like?" I shouted, my chest tightening. "I just saw it with my own eyes, James. How could you, both of you?" Emily's eyes welled up. "It's not like that. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. I didn't mean to," James muttered, still avoiding me. "It just happened." "Happened?" My hand shook. "You've been lying to me, Emily. Every day, every single day. And you, James. You worked in my house with my trust, and this is what you do." "I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you," Emily pleaded, taking a step closer. "Sorry?" My voice cracked, disbelief slicing through me. "Do you even understand what that word means? Do you have any idea what I'm feeling right now?" James finally looked at me, eyes flickering. "Sir, please don't." Don't what?" I snapped. "Tell me how to feel. Don't pretend you're innocent. Don't lie straight to my face." Emily's voice broke. "Please listen to me." No. I don't want to listen." I shouted, my knees weakening. "I trusted you, Emily. I loved you with everything I had. And you threw it away for him." I pointed at James, hatred boiling inside me. James flinched but stayed silent. Emily covered her face with her hands. It's complicated. I didn't know. I didn't think." "You didn't think?" I laughed bitterly, a sound hollow and raw. "You didn't think about me? About us? About everything we built together?" A timid knock came from the kitchen. One of the minor staff, Lily, peeked around the corner. "Sir, do you need?" "Go away," I barked, my voice trembling. "Go away and pretend you didn't see anything." Lily's eyes widened and she disappeared quietly, leaving the three of us in a suffocating silence. I paced, trying to make sense of the betrayal. I gave you my life, my trust, and you, both of you, betrayed me in my own home. Emily stepped forward, tears streaming. James, we never wanted to hurt you. Please, we can fix this. I love you." "Love me?" I stopped, my fists clenching. "Love me? You call this love? Cheating with my servant while pretending to smile at me every morning?" James spoke quietly, almost pleading. "Sir, we didn't plan it this way." "We didn't plan it?" I shouted, voice raw. "Every lie, every whispered phone call, every stolen glance. I've been blind, haven't I? Blind to everything right under my nose." Emily's shoulders shook. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. "Confused?" I repeated, voice breaking. "I trusted you, Emily. I shared everything with you. And this is the reward." James lowered his head. "I can't apologize enough, sir. I don't want apologies." I screamed. "I want what? I want you both to feel what I feel. Betrayed, humiliated, completely destroyed." Emily's lips trembled. "Please, No." I stepped back. "You don't get to speak. Not now. Not ever again. Do you understand? You've destroyed everything. Everything I thought was safe and perfect." James's hands twitched at his sides, but he said nothing. I sank into the nearest chair, chest heaving. My mind spun with shock, rage, and disbelief. The world had flipped on its head in seconds. I felt naked, exposed, stripped of trust one didn't even know I had. Emily crouched in front of me, tears falling freely. "I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen." "You never meant for this to happen?" I whispered, voice cracking. "Do you know what that means? Do you even understand? My life, my heart, you've shattered both. And for what?" Silence filled the room. Only the faint hum of the air conditioner answered me. James sat rigidly, Emily sobbing, and I just stared at them, my mind numb. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something. I wanted to disappear. But most of all, I wanted answers I knew I'd never get. I realized then, as I sat there, broken and shaking, that nothing would ever be the same again. I found Emily in the kitchen, sitting with her hands clasped tightly, tears streaking her cheeks. "Emily," my voice was low, tight with anger and hurt. She looked up, eyes wide and innocent. Please don't hate me. I never wanted this to happen." "Hate you?" I echoed, voice shaking. "Do you even understand what that word means right now? Do you know what you've done?" I made a mistake," she said quickly. "A terrible mistake. But I love you. I swear I love you." I laughed bitterly, shaking my head. "Love me? You slept with James. You smiled at me every morning while planning this behind my back. And you're telling me it's love?" Emily's hands trembled. "It wasn't planned. I didn't mean to hurt you. You have to believe me." "Believe you?" My fists clenched at my sides. "You think saying that erases everything? Every lie, every stolen moment, every secret whispered in the dark?" "I was lonely," she burst out, voice rising. "You've been so busy, so distant. I needed someone who listened." "So you chose James?" I said through gritted teeth. "The servant in our house? Someone I trusted." Emily flinched. "What just happened? It wasn't about him. It was me, my feelings, my weakness. Don't you understand?" I swallowed hard, fury and disbelief battling inside me. "I don't understand because it makes no sense. I loved you. God, I don't even know what I feel now." She reached for my hand. "Please, let's fix this. We can work through it. I'll do anything." "Anything?" I pulled my hand back. "Do you even hear yourself? You want me to forgive this? Pretend nothing happened? Live with the betrayal every single day?" Tears streamed down her face. "I know I hurt you. I'll spend my life making it up to you if I have to." I shook my head, pacing. "You don't get it. You can't make this right. Not with words. Not with promises. You've shattered everything, Emily. Everything I trusted." She sobbed openly, voice trembling. "I'm sorry. I love you. I never wanted to ruin us." "I don't want to hear it," I yelled, hands shaking. "I don't want to hear anything from you right now." I left the kitchen before I said something I'd regret, my mind racing. Every memory of her smile, Every shared laugh felt poison now. Later, I confronted James in the study. He was sitting calmly, arms crossed, waiting. "Sir," he said almost casually, "you wanted to see me?" "Yes, I did," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" James shrugged lightly. "I've told you already. I didn't plan this. It happened." "Happened?" I echoed, incredulous. "Do you even understand the word? Do you understand what betrayal feels like? What humiliation is?" "I understand, sir," he said calmly. "But I don't think apologizing changes anything." I blinked, stunned. You don't feel guilty?" James shook his head. "Regret isn't going to fix your life, sir. Or Emily's. Or mine. I won't lie, I don't regret what happened. It's done." My fists tightened until my nails dug into my palms. "Done?" I shouted. "You call destroying my marriage done? You call this acceptable behavior?" "I'm not pretending it's acceptable," he said evenly. "But dwelling on it changes nothing. You have to decide what you're going to do next. Forgive or move on. That's your choice, sir." I stared at him, chest heaving, mind swirling. His calm audacity made my blood boil. He wasn't scared. He wasn't even ashamed. "You're unbelievable," I whispered, shaking my head. "I trusted you like a brother, like family. And you—" "I know," he interrupted softly. "I know exactly what I am. But that doesn't change what happened." I turned away, struggling for breath. "I don't know what to do," I admitted quietly. "I feel trapped, humiliated, angry. And part of me wants to forgive just to keep the peace." James tilted his head. "Forgive if you want, sir. But don't forgive because you feel you have to. That's weakness. You'll regret it." I sank into a chair, running my hands over my face. "I don't even know who I am anymore," I muttered. "I feel powerless, helpless. And I can't even look at Emily without seeing everything she's done." James stood silently, watching me. "Then make a choice, sir. Decide who you want to be after this. The man she betrayed, or the man who rebuilds himself stronger." His words hit harder than I expected. I sat there, chest tight, mind racing. Anger, sorrow, humiliation. They churned together, leaving a bitter taste in my mouth. And for the first time I realized this wasn't just about Emily or James. This was about me. About taking back control. About deciding whether I remained a victim, or became someone else entirely. I sat in my study, staring at the wall, replaying the scene over and over. Emily's tears, James' smug calm, it all burned in my mind. I couldn't let it slide. Not this time. I grabbed my phone and dialed Mark. "Hey, can we meet? I need advice. Serious advice." "Of course, man," Mark said immediately. "What's going on? You sound tense." "Mark, Emily, James. It's bad. Worse than I can explain over the phone. I need a plan. Then meet me at the cafe in an hour. We'll talk." When I arrived, Mark was already there sipping coffee. He didn't ask questions, he waited. That's why I trusted him. "Mark," I began, voice low, "I've been blind. They've betrayed me completely. I can't just forgive and move on. I need control. I need leverage." Mark leaned back. "Then that's what you do. Start small. Observe. Record. Document everything. Find their patterns. Gather evidence before making a move." "That's what I was thinking," I said, a spark lighting in my chest. "I'll track their routines, see who they meet, what they do when I'm not around. Nothing is too small. I'll be ready." "Good. And you'll need someone to help with the legal side," Mark added. "Lawyer. Financial advice. Protect yourself while you watch." I nodded. "I know a lawyer. I'll call tomorrow." Back at home, I started quietly. Cameras in the corners of the house, hidden recorders in the living room. Every whispered word, every glance, I captured it. I noted the small details, the late-night calls, the secretive meetings, the way James always seemed to linger a fraction too long. One evening, I confronted James in the kitchen, keeping my tone casual. "James, how's your day been?" "Fine, sir," he said smoothly, glancing at Emily. "Busy as always." "Really? You seem relaxed," I said, tilting my head. "Funny how you always seem calm when she's around." James froze for a moment but recovered. "I'm just doing my job, sir." I smiled, a cold, measured smile. "Of course. Just doing your job." Inside, my mind cataloged everything. I was learning them, watching, waiting. Emily approached later, soft and tentative. "Everything okay?" I nodded, keeping my voice neutral. "Yes. Just thinking." Her eyes searched mine. "You've been distant lately." I've been reflecting, I said carefully. Sometimes people act without thinking. Sometimes they need reminders. Emily frowned slightly, but I didn't give more. I let the uncertainty linger. Let them feel it. The first flickers of control. The next day I called my lawyer. I need to review all my accounts and make adjustments. Locks, signatures, everything. Protect me in case things escalate. Understood, the lawyer said. I'll prepare everything. Discretion guaranteed. Good. That was another layer. I was reclaiming my life, piece by piece. Mark visited again in the evening. How's it going? He asked. I'm observing, recording, planning, I said, sipping my tea. I've got them right where I want them, yet they don't know it. They think I'm broken. They think I'm helpless. But I'm not. Mark smiled slightly. You're learning. That's the turning point. Once you move, it'll be precise. Calculated. They won't see it coming. I felt a surge of determination. Exactly. I'll wait until the right moment. Until their arrogance blinds them completely. Then I'll reclaim what's mine. Patience, Mark reminded me. Revenge, if you call it that, isn't about rage. It's about strategy. Keep calm, keep collected. They'll unravel themselves if you play it right. I nodded. The thought of control, of silent power, made my chest tighten. I wasn't a victim anymore. I was learning, growing, calculating. Later, I walked through the house, touching the locks, checking the cameras. Everything was in place. My kingdom. My rules. My quiet war. Emily glanced at me from the living room. You're different lately, she said softly. I smiled faintly, neutral, unreadable. I'm just thinking. And they didn't suspect a thing. Not yet. Because for the first time since the betrayal, I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Control. Silent, slow, but absolute. This was the turning point. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was preparing. Watching. Waiting. And when the moment came, they would regret ever underestimating me. I watched from the study window as Emily tried to laugh with her friends in the garden. But something was off. The laughter felt forced, her smiles too quick, her eyes darting constantly. Later Mark called. You're not imagining it, man. People notice things. Friends notice tension. I can see it, I said quietly, sipping my tea. She's trying to act normal, but everyone around her can feel it. She can't hide it forever. Good, Mark replied. Let it unravel naturally. You don't need to push. They'll slip up on their own. I smiled faintly. That was the beauty of patience. I didn't have to confront her directly. Every careless gesture, every awkward glance, those were the cracks forming in her facade. The next morning, James called from work. Sir, there's an issue with the deliveries. I might have made a mistake, he said nervously. You might have made a mistake? I echoed, keeping my tone calm. Care to explain? He swallowed. I forgot to check a shipment. They're questioning me now. It's complicated. Complicated? I said slowly. James, it's your responsibility. Own it. Yes, sir, he said, voice tight. I understand. I hung up, a small satisfaction blooming in my chest. Karma didn't need my hands to strike. It only needed a nudge in the right direction. Later, Emily appeared in the kitchen, acting casual. I think something's wrong with the garden. Some flowers have wilted, she said lightly, avoiding eye contact. I leaned against the counter. That's odd. I noticed the sprinkler schedule was off. Maybe you should check it. Someone might have tampered with it. Emily's face paled, just slightly, but she tried to mask it. I'll look into it. I poured tea, keeping my expression neutral. You're doing well, Em. Almost natural. But people notice what's off even if you don't. She froze for a second, then nodded. I guess so. I left her there and called my lawyer. I need to finalize the accounts and access permissions. Make sure all actions are tracked. Any suspicious activity flagged immediately. Yes, sir, the lawyer replied. I'll arrange everything discreetly. You'll be fully protected. Perfect. Every move I made was subtle, unnoticed, but effective. I wasn't just waiting, I was orchestrating a network of consequences. That evening I invited Mark over. She's slipping, I said, motioning toward the house. And James, he's faltering at work. Everything is unfolding. Mark nodded, leaning back. Exactly. Let them continue. Don't intervene directly. People reveal themselves when they're cornered by their own lies. I know, I said. It's strange. I feel satisfaction, yes. But there's still pain. Watching them unravel doesn't fix what they did to me. Mark's eyes softened. That's normal. Revenge isn't healing, it's truth. You see their reality cracking while you stay intact. That's power, but healing takes time. I watched Emily pacing later, phone in hand, whispering urgently. No, I don't know. He's watching. Don't let him suspect. The fear in her voice was almost delicious. I didn't interfere. I just noted it, cataloged every word, every hesitation. The subtle trembling in her hands, the way her shoulders slumped when James spoke, everything spoke volumes. James called me later, voice strained. Sir, questions are being asked. People are noticing mistakes. Don't justify it, James. You'll answer when necessary, I said evenly. Mistakes have consequences. That's life. Yes, sir, he muttered, hanging up quickly. The satisfaction was tempered, yes, by the pain that lingered. Seeing them crumble didn't erase the betrayal. But it was necessary. A balance being restored, slowly, methodically. I made dinner quietly, letting the small domestic routine cloak the storm brewing beneath. Emily asked softly, You seem different lately. Calm, observant, almost detached. I smiled faintly. I've learned patience, Em. You can't rush people into revealing themselves. They do it naturally. Her eyes flicked nervously toward James, who was clearing the table, jaw tight. The tension was visible now to anyone watching. Even she couldn't hide it anymore. Later, alone in my study, I reviewed the recordings. Every whispered conversation, every hesitant glance, every slip-up, it was all there. Evidence of the truth, undeniable. I sipped my tea slowly. It's happening, I whispered to myself. They're unraveling. And I'm watching. Waiting. I wasn't triumphant. The wound of betrayal was deep. But the control, the subtle orchestration, gave me something I hadn't felt since the discovery, power. Quiet, steady, and unrelenting. Mark's words echoed in my mind. People reveal themselves when cornered by their own lies. And they were. I leaned back, eyes narrowing at the house. Emily and James didn't know it yet, but their lives were tipping, slowly, inexorably. And I would be there, silent, watching until the final piece fell into place. I invited them both to the house, telling them it was a dinner with friends. Everyone arrived, smiling, unaware of the tension brewing. I kept my expression neutral, calm, collected. I had rehearsed this moment over and over, and now it was time. Emily and James arrived together, a little too comfortable, as if nothing had happened. I motioned for them to follow me to the living room. Everyone, I began, voice steady, I have something important to show you. Emily's lips pressed together. What do you mean? She whispered. Sit down, I said, gesturing to the sofa. I think it's better if you all see this clearly. I played the first recording. Emily's voice, hushed and urgent, pleaded with James. No one can know. He can't suspect a thing. We have to be careful. Gasps filled the room. Emily's friends froze, eyes wide. James shifted, trying to maintain composure. Do you recognize that voice, Emily? I asked, calm but cutting. She swallowed hard. It's not. It is, Emily, I interrupted. Every word, every lie. I documented everything. You lied, cheated, and betrayed the trust of everyone in this room. James opened his mouth. Sir, please, let me explain. You have nothing to explain, I said firmly. I watched, I recorded, I waited. And now everyone knows the truth. Emily's shoulders shook. I'm sorry. I never meant for anyone to find out like this. Sorry? I said, my voice even. Do you understand what sorry even means? You hurt me. You humiliated me. You thought you could hide it, but you didn't consider anyone but yourselves. Mark leaned over and whispered, You're doing fine. Keep calm. I nodded slightly, then turned back to Emily. Look at your friends. Do you think they see you the same way they did before? Do you think James' co-workers believe him now? James tried again. I thought we didn't plan it. It wasn't intentional. Not intentional? I repeated, voice rising slightly. Not intentional? You destroyed a marriage, James. Not intentional doesn't undo the betrayal. It doesn't erase the lies. Emily's eyes filled with tears, pleading. Please, we can fix this. I'll do anything. I love you, I swear I love you. Love me? I asked, shaking my head slowly. Do you even understand the word? Do you understand what trust means? No, Emily. You sold it. Every single day. A silence settled in the room. Friends looked from Emily to James to me, disbelief and shock written on their faces. I took a deep breath, feeling the transformation solidify inside me. Calm, collected, in control. This is the result of actions, I said quietly. Choices have consequences. You made yours. Now everyone sees the reality. You face it. And I move forward. James' jaw tightened. Sir, I accept responsibility, but I don't regret what happened. It is what it is. Is it? I asked, letting the question linger. Do you understand the shame you've brought on yourself? The isolation. The lies? People notice, James. You won't be trusted again. And Emily, you've lost respect, dignity, and the love of someone who gave everything to you. Emily sobbed openly, burying her face in her hands. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please, please don't let it destroy everything. It's already destroyed, I said softly, almost to myself. By your hands, I can't rebuild what you broke. I can only rebuild myself. I looked around the room. My friends and family saw the truth, and in their eyes, I noticed a new respect, not pity. They saw me stand tall, despite heartbreak, despite betrayal. You see, I said, turning back to Emily and James, this is not about revenge. It's about justice. You've faced the consequences of your actions, not because I wished it, but because your lies caught up with you. Emily whispered, voice shaking, I understand. James remained silent, staring at the floor, unable to meet my eyes. I took a deep breath. I've learned something from this. Pain teaches you clarity. Betrayal teaches strength. And false friends teach wisdom. I'm not ruined. I am free, from lies, from manipulation, and from weakness. Mark clapped softly. Well said, my friend. That's how you reclaim yourself. I nodded, feeling a weight lift off my chest. Emily and James would leave, bearing the shame and regret they had earned. And I would remain, not broken, not defeated, but stronger, composed, and in control. No hatred lingered. Only the satisfaction of justice, measured, calm, and deserved. And finally, I realized something profound. Betrayal can hurt, but it cannot define me. Only my response can. I looked at them one last time. This is the end. Learn from it. I am moving on. And with that, I turned, letting the quiet room seal their fate, and my freedom. The house was quiet now. Emily had packed her things, her face pale, tears dried but lingering in her eyes. James had been dismissed, leaving with a few belongings and a stiff, unreadable expression. I walked through the room slowly, touching surfaces, seeing the emptiness differently. It wasn't suffocating, it was freeing. Mark arrived just as I poured myself a cup of tea. How's it feeling? He asked gently. Strange, I admitted, taking a slow sip. The house feels empty but not lonely. It's like a weight has lifted. That's normal, Mark said. The people who hurt us leave a mark, but when they're gone, you see the space for what it really is. Yours. I nodded, looking around the living room. I keep thinking about Emily, her lies, her manipulation. And James, his audacity. Part of me wants to feel anger, but I don't anymore. I just acknowledge what happened. Mark leaned back. That's growth. Anger is natural, but holding on too long keeps you trapped. You're learning to move forward. I sighed. I never imagined it would end this way. I thought I knew love. I thought trust was unbreakable. I was wrong. You were human, Mark said. Trusting, forgiving, believing in the best in people. That's not weakness, it's strength. And now you're stronger for it. Later, I called the lawyer to finalize the remaining matters. Everything's settled, I said quietly. Emily's access removed, James' employment terminated, accounts secured. I'm in control again. Excellent, sir, the lawyer replied. You've handled this with discretion and authority. No loose ends. Hanging up, I walked through the house again. Memories of betrayal flashed, Emily's smiles, James' calm defiance, but they didn't sting as sharply. The pain was still there, but tempered by clarity. I had survived. I had endured. And I had reclaimed my life. Mark stayed for dinner. So what now? He asked, pouring himself a glass of wine. I thought for a moment. Now, life. I focus on myself. My work, my friends, my own happiness. I rebuild without them. Mark smiled. Sounds like a plan. But don't be afraid to trust again. Carefully, but trust. Life isn't just pain. There's room for joy too. I'll try, I said, staring at the empty chair where Emily one Saturday. It won't be easy. I'll always remember, but I won't be chained to the past. Later that night, I wandered into the garden. The moonlight spilled across the lawn, silver and calming. I thought about all the moments I had spent in despair, replaying every lie, every whispered conversation. And yet, for the first time in months, I felt peace. I sat on the bench and whispered to myself, I've survived the worst. I've learned my limits, my strength. And I've realized something Trusting myself is the most important thing. Mark joined me silently. You've changed, he said softly. I have, I admitted. I've been broken, humiliated, betrayed, but I'm not defeated. There's a clarity now. I know my value, my boundaries. I won't let anyone diminish that again. Good, he said. That's what this was always about. Not revenge. Not punishment. You. I smiled faintly, looking up at the stars. Yes, Amy. And life doesn't stop here. There's still hope. Still possibilities. Mark nodded. Exactly. You're standing at the edge of something new. Don't be afraid to step forward. I leaned back, letting the cool night air fill my lungs. I've learned to distinguish between those who stay and those who only pretend. I've learned that betrayal can hurt, but it doesn't have to destroy me. I've learned that strength is quiet, patient, and persistent. Mark chuckled. You sound like a philosopher now. I laughed softly, a sound I hadn't made in months. Maybe. Or just a man who's finally awake. The next few days passed quietly. I focused on small routines, gardening, reading, writing in a journal. Each day felt lighter, less burdened by the past. Friends and family visited, offering support, and I welcomed it. Their presence reminded me that life continued, that love and friendship weren't lost just because some had betrayed me. One afternoon, I received a message from Emily. I'm sorry, truly. I hope you find peace. I read it slowly, feeling the last pang of bitterness. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The closure wasn't in words, it was in my own heart, finally free from the chains of manipulation and deceit. James never contacted me again. I heard through work channels that his mistakes continued to catch up with him. I didn't care. His downfall wasn't my victory, it was a natural consequence of his choices. I stood by the window that evening looking at the sunset. The sky was painted in shades of orange and pink, peaceful and beautiful. I whispered to myself, this is my life. Mine to shape, mine to protect. And I will. Mark appeared behind me. You look different, confident. I feel different, I admitted. I've been humbled, hurt, and humiliated, but stronger than ever. And I'm ready for what comes next. Carefully, cautiously, but ready. Then step forward, he said. Life is waiting. I smiled, turning to face him. Yes, life is waiting. And this time, I'll walk into it with my eyes wide open. That night, I slept deeply, not haunted by betrayal, but comforted by resilience. I had survived the storm. I had reclaimed control. And though the scars remained, they were marks of survival, not defeat. The future stretched before me, uncertain but full of possibility. And for the first time I felt hope, not naive, not fragile, but steady and real. I had moved on, not through revenge alone, but through self-respect, strength, and the courage to rebuild. I closed my eyes and whispered softly, this is the beginning of everything I deserve.